So today I want to walk through a quick tutorial on how to get a Scribble text effect with kind of the text writing on. This is going to be just one method for doing it. So go ahead and start with whatever words you want to use. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is start out with the text being large, because the RD shapes to mask script does something weird with scaling, and so it creates the masks at whatever resolution you start the text with, or the outlines, which sometimes if you start smaller and then you decide you want to scale up, your effects and stuff that you apply to those masks are going to look kind of weird. So start with it larger, and you can always scale it back down. So what you want to do is start out with, go to your layer options and create outlines. Now, this is important to do right before you run the script. So go ahead and then run scripts, shapes to masks. And so you see it just creates another layer with that mask. So then what we'll do is start with the scribble effect first. That's where I like to start. So in your effects panel, go ahead and search for it and drop it in there. Now, what you'll want to do is, in your scribble effect, you're going to want it to use all masks. And so that'll use the mask that you have set up and using modes. Because what this did when it created the masks is created, masks for all the lines. Now, what we want to do is just get rid of all the masks, but the main, face of the text, since they're using different modes here. See, I just start from the bottom, and then you'll see it flips into the inside. So if you just kind of start from the bottom and delete, now there's two E, so be careful not to. So then you're going to end up filling in the insides. Now, just note, if you flip your outline layer back on, you'll see that the original layer's there, and you can get a good idea of what you're filling in. So I like turning my stroke up on this. Oh, let's flip this layer back out. The stroke width kind of up on my. Let me zoom in here too also. And our stroke options, I like to add some more spacing between the strokes, so it's a little easier to see, and let it vary a bit. And there you got that started. Now, one thing we'll want to do is animate it so it starts from kind of one side and moves to the next. So what you'll do is the end property, go ahead and click the little clock to get your time frames, and you got a time frame started there. So we're gonna have it start out at 0, and then 15 frames later, or whatever you want, add a new keyframe and have it move through. So what you'll see this does is you'll start and it'll fill in from one side to the next. So that's, if all you wanted to do was create the fill-in for whatever you got going on, easy, you're done. Then you just repeat this step for whatever your next word is. But what I wanted to do was have the outlines written on, or kind of filled in as well. So you start, have your kind of writing effect going on. So let me show you kind of one way of doing that as well. So go ahead and hide your fill-in layer. It'll make this easier. And then find your write on effect and add that to the outlines. Now, the write on effect, you'll want to come in and first off flip it to reveal the image. That's what you're going to want to do. And then you see this little point right here? This is the brush that fills in, and we're using white. Now, you're going to want to enlarge the brush size to, something that can adequately fill in your text. Now, also, if you come down and stroke length in seconds, you're going to want to turn it way up. So that way, when you move between, let's just set a keyframe here. And you move to your next keyframe, or we'll set our next keyframe. Oop. Here. So when you move between your frames, your brush length is what will keep it there. Because if you turn your brush length down to nothing, then it'll just be, you'll just have a moving dot. Now also turn your brush spacing as far down as you can. That'll help it stay thick and filled in. So then pretty much what you're going to want to do is just sit and keyframe positions. Now, it's a little time consuming, I'll give you that, but you'll get the effect you're looking for. So go through, keyframe it out, and after you got one letter done, you can just drag it over to the next and go through. So once you've got that done, you'll have a effect that looks like this. I'll show you kind of my keyframes here. You'll see just keyed in just one frame at a time, going through. So that's the short tutorial of it, but you can just drop this in on pretty much any sort of project you got going on, and it's a neat effect. So I've also included in this tutorial my project file if you want to look and see what I did and play around with it. Hope this was helpful, and if you have questions or comments, leave a comment on the blog, and I'll hopefully be able to help you out. So thanks for watching.